the James Bond collection. Now, I am a James Bond fan. I've seen some of these movies before. I've never seen them all. And when I was trying to think about how do I review these movies, right? There's about 25 movies in this collection. 25. Uh, Soon to be 26, I believe. That's a lot of movies. And I was going, should I just review them all one by one? And I just decided the best way to do it is review them by actor and their run on the character. Because when people think of Bond, they think of the different actors who played him. Nobody thinks, oh, I'm watching From Russia with Love. Oh, I'm watching this. They're just like, I'm watching Sean Connery's era of Bond. Everybody has their favorite Bond. Everybody has their favorite Bond movie, but it always starts with their favorite Bond. And so, let's start with the original era of Bond. Now this is a nice set because this is labeled 1962 to 1972. Sean Connery recently passed away this year. He starred in from 5 James Bond movies from 1962 to I don't remember till what date, but he was Bond for a while. It's his most famous role. Sean Connery's run on the character, I think, is the most important, but I think it is the worst of the Bond eras. Because Sean Connery he's a good actor. He's great in a lot of movies. If you want to know my favorite Sean Connery movie, Hunt for Red October. My favorite Sean Connery movie. My favorite Sean Connery performance. He's a great actor, terrific actor. But he's an actor who, because of the circumstances of the time he was in, his Bond era ends up looking the most bad. Now, Sean Connery was actually known to beat women and harass women. Now, this was socially acceptable for him to do at the time and not get called out. This was a lot of behavior in Hollywood at the time of these movies' creation. But when you watch these movies, it does give them an uncomfortable feel. Now, James Bond is not a character that people will watch and say, "Oh, he's a womanizer." He's not a womanizer. He's just a suave, kind of. He's a suave, very clean, very gentlemanlike, really awesome dude. He's kind of the man that everybody wants to be, and but so he's able to get women falling for him because he's such an incredible character, and that's kind of the character. So he isn't rude or treats women like trash. There are elements of these in this movie, but that was just kind of what was socially acceptable at the time. So I think a lot of these movies don't look that great in retrospect. So let's go over all the Bond movies he was in. So first up was Dr. No. Dr. No is iconic. It's a classic. It's the first Bond movie. It's the most important of the Bond movies. However, I think it's the second weakest of these Bond movies. I just think that this one is the most dated and feel. It's still enjoyable and okay to watch, but it just doesn't work the same way it did. From Russia with Love is the second best. Actually third best. It still kind of has the elements of the dated feel. Goldfinger is absolutely a great Bond movie. I think it's the best of the Sean Connery era and one of the best Bond movies of all time, at least in the top 10. Fantastic. Just the way they deal with everything together in this movie. It's very well put together. Great movie. Thunderball. This is the black sheep of the Bond movies. So Sean Connery was very popular because of his Bond movies. These were some of the most popular movies at the time. And he did not want to be Bond anymore, and he refused to come back. And they said, all right, well, he's like, I'll come back. And he was known to do it for money, and this does not feel like a Bond movie. It's known as the black sheep of the Bond series. He has a lot of gadgets and things like that. Like he's got a jetpack and things like that, which is just not something Bond has, and Bond isn't like that. It's ridiculous. It's not good. And if you take it as its own thing away from the Bond series, it's just a very kind of meh movie. But as a part of the Bond series, it's not very good. You Only Live Twice. This is the second best of the Bond era. Fantastic. I think it's the best paced, has the best action, and it has the best story of the Bond Sean Connery era. And I think it's fantastic. So that is the Sean Connery Bond era. Now, again, I don't want people taking me saying bad things about Sean Connery as if I hate the guy or anything. I don't. I respect what he did. What he did as an actor was important, but I think it's important to notice that when you watch these movies, there is a hinge of stuff that just does not look very good. And maybe it's innocent. Maybe he didn't beat these specific women or anything like that or harass them, but it just does not look good, and you can see some elements of that kind of demeanor in his performance at times. And so I think it's there. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there on set when these movies were made. I wasn't alive during the era that these were made, but there are still good aspects to appreciate about these movies, and we should appreciate them, and we should appreciate Sean Connery's performances as these actors, because it isn't his performance's fault that he was a terrible man behind the performance. Um, so, I don't know how often these reviews are going to pop up of the Bond era, the different Bonds, because it isn't just simply watch one film. It's watch multiple movies to talk about them in one video, and so who knows when I will have time to do all this. But I assure you, whenever I get the time to put this video together and put it out there, I will do so. So stay tuned for more Bond reviews. Stay tuned for my reviews of the Owl House and all that this week. Cobra Kai Season 3. All that coming your way very soon. And stay tuned for a review of The Incredible Hulk.